Good afternoon, Miss Tana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. We just did an evaluation with your son. I just wanted to touch base with you about some of those results and what we're doing and any concerns that you have.
Yeah, I know I had asked for this meeting in addition to the art and everything just because I am just kind of concerned. I told you, we've told you about like the family history, but that's on the dad's side. So he seems like very familiar with how to handle these things, and I just honestly, I mean, I love my child. I love Jaden so much, but sometimes when this is happening, he can tell you, I don't really know what to do. I'm very accepting of it. I don't know how to handle the situation. I feel like his dad does.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can see where you're coming from, and this is a really big area of concern for you. And probably one of my best tips would be just to give Jaden time to get out what he wants to say, and just allowing him to work through those moments. You don't want to interrupt and mm, try to talk for them, because as parents, we just really want to go and help our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best things that you can do to help your kiddo is to just give him time, to get out what he wants to say. And then I can teach you some of the strategies that we're doing here. That way you can encourage them at home. And of course, not too much. We don't want to overwhelm Jaden, but it will give you the opportunity to take on a more active role.
Yes, definitely. That's what I want. I'm just because I know he gets frustrated when he's having these stuttering moments, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, I think what we're going to cover today will be really helpful. Really, really helpful. And so I can see, based on his charts, that he's just very involved. Is that still the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good. All right. And then again, of course, that family history that you just mentioned. And we gave the test of childhood stuttering, which is a childhood version of a stuttering test. So we just see how often it occurs and what kinds of things we're noticing. So what are some things that you're noticing at home?
I know that, Jaden, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to talk about it any? I know.
Can.
Okay, what are some things that you're noticing most at home since we've gotten started?
Sometimes I stumble over my words like I am now. It's not as bad right now, but sometimes if I'm fighting with my older sisters or if I'm really excited, then it'll come out worse.
Yeah. And so, even when you were just talking, kind of what we've talked about in therapy, we have some of those repetitions where you say the sound, a few more times, and Mom, that's what those repetitions are. The ba-ba-ba, or the s. And you also have some prolongations. That's when you hold that sound out a little bit, and we're working on that. And, of course, the blocks and some revisions where you go back, and restate what you were trying to say, which is a really good technique, but we want to kind of decrease that just so that they can get what they want to say out.
You had mentioned blocks. What is that?
A block is when they, and Jaden will kind of stop, and then it's almost like the word just gets caught in their throat and they can't get it out.
Oh, okay, I've noticed that, but that doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
I'm more like the repetitions. I think that's the primary thing. Don't you think, Jaden?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's kind of what we've noticed as well in the results. And so I'll pull those up for you. And so these were his scores, and there was a rating scale done by the teacher. As you can see, the score was a little bit higher, and then some picture naming and some sentences and conversation. And so overall, based on these results, we're seeing that there's a moderate disfluencies. Okay. So not severe, but not mild. So we definitely have some area for improvement, and we're already starting to see some in therapy. And so that being said, how would you like to see some of what we're doing, and then you try it?
Yes, definitely. I want to be as hands-on as possible.
All right. Well, one of the things that we've really been working on is what's called easy onset, and it has many names. What do you like to call it, Jaden?
Easy speech.
That's right. Easy speech, preparatory set, all those things if you ever wanted to Google it. those are all the different names it goes by.
Okay.
But essentially, it's where we kind of start with the air coming out and then add words. That way we relax the neck and all those things, because a lot of stuttering is built up tension.
Okay.
And that's kind of more where that comes from. And so, Jaden, let's try it. Let's show Mom what we've been doing in therapy.
Okay.
All right. I know you, the K sound is sometimes a little difficult for you. And so let's do a sentence with some K sounds. So our sentence is going to be, King Harry drank milk.
King Harry drank milk.
Great. All right. Now I want you to tell your mom what you just did.
So I kind of planned in my head what I wanted to say and relaxed everything in my articulators, and I took some breathing.
Yeah, that was really good. Let's try it one more time. And just that easy. King Harry drank milk.
King Harry drank milk.
Great job. Would you like to try?
Sure.
Would you like to kind of see, is there something that you talk about a lot at home that you would like to talk about and try that out?
Well, we have a cat, you know, and what's the kitty's name?
The cat's name is Candace.
The cat's name is Candace.
Great. All right.
All right.
So we're going to talk to Mom about Candace.
Yeah.
Candace is a really pretty kitty. She actually bit me yesterday, though.
She did?
She...
Why didn't you tell me that?
I was afraid you'd get rid of her.
And on that note, you may or may not notice this, but sometimes when they get excited, those stuttering moments come out. If you've noticed that, you know, that's very normal. And so I know we see that in therapy because we like to have a really good time. And sometimes Jaden, you sometimes kind of get caught up a little bit more, but we'd rather speech be a really safe place and a fun place where it's okay to stutter and okay to try out all the new techniques like that easy onset like we just did.
So it's okay to stutter, like that's what y'all are promoting?
Yes, that stuttering doesn't define, you know, who you are. You know, Jaden isn't, you know, it's not Jaden stutters. It's Jaden is a person with stuttering, you know, and stuttering isn't all who Jaden is. Jaden is a great basketball player and, you know, is involved in his choir and all of these things that are so much more than just his stuttering. But we want to work to make him, you know, more confident, you know, and easy to understand in those things. So we encourage a safe place to be who you are and then to work on the things that he's starting to kind of have some emotions about.
Okay, great. I'm really glad. Like, Jaden's told me that I know he's been doing RTI for a little bit,
Yeah.
and he's been telling me that he loves speech with Miss Lane.
Yes.
And it's just, I'm just concerned, like, because sometimes it's, like, really, really bad.
Yeah.
And then other times it's not, and so I want, like, how long is this going to be going on? Like, is it ever going to, like, will this help, like, cure it? Like, this therapy?
Well, unfortunately, there's not a cure for stuttering. As much as I wish there were, and all my other speech friends wish there were, at this moment there's not. But there's things that we can do, like the easy onset, and some of the other strategies that I can talk with you about it at a later time, that help improve the fluency. And some children grow out of it, and some do not. But that's still some time to see. Because I remember seeing in the case history that it worsened when y'all made a big move.
Yes.
And so that's still that adjustment period and things of that nature. You know, as they get older, sometimes it improves and sometimes it doesn't. But that's more of a waiting game. But until then, you know, we want to improve that fluency.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for teaching me that. And so I should just, like, in those moments, just remind him to use that strategy. That's what I'm doing.
Right. And, maybe not every single time, because sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, can't it, Jaden?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And so just want to make sure that we're doing it plenty of time to make him aware, but at the same time not overwhelming you. Or you, because that's a lot to think on and a lot to do at home when you have other children and a husband to take care of and all those kinds of things.
Right.
Do you have any other questions for me?
I think I'm good. Thank you. This was really helpful.
You're very welcome. Jaden, thank you for doing so good, and I will see you in a little while for therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.